with anyone. I could be with anyone. You're here with me. You're here with me. You could be around with me. You could be with anyone. I could be with anyone. You're here with me. You're here with me.
Let's get it. Religion meets reality TV. This is a ridiculous concept in and of itself, because so much of what we see on reality TV is the extremes of many, general relationship dynamics and personalities. You see the most ridiculous of the ridiculous when it comes to reality shows. And the application of religion on polygamy within the confines of a reality show is no different. One of the things that actually struck me was there was a gentleman by the name of Garrick who appears on Seeking Sister Wives, who talks about his faith and how it has influenced him to take the stride to try to bring his family more in line with a polygamous lifestyle. So he took his wife, who he was married to for a number of years, divorced her. She's still in the family, but he divorced her legally so that he can bring another woman into the family who he just happened to like to go to Mexico and sleep with. So it became this big thing where he's trying to justify the rightness and righteousness of his actions by using his faith to do so. And I don't want to steal his thunder. I don't want to make it seem like I'm trying to mischaracterize this young man and his beliefs. I'm not trying to do that. So I'm going to let him speak for himself. Let's take a listen. Take it away, Garrick.
Can't say it's wrong. It's a reflection of Jesus and his church, because a lot of the scriptures, the terms where it says he fills you with the Holy Ghost, it's actually a sexual term.
Exactly.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
It actually means like sperm going into like intimacy that way.
What the? Exactly. I don't know what book you reading, bro. I don't know what book you reading. This is that point where you start to think about religion in a way that is very perverse. You're starting to turn it into what you want it to be. So this is that point where if you were hungry, you might sit there instead of saying, yeah, whatever floats your boat, you'll say something to the effect of whatever butters your biscuits. Because you're hungry. You're thinking about food. right? Things are getting hot. No, it's not getting hot. It's starting to sizzle. Because you're thinking about food. In Garrick's case, everything that he's doing as far as expanding his family is pretty much originating from his loins. So it's the sexual desire that he has is causing him to think that he can really have this wonderful experience with these women and bring them into the family so that way they can experience broadening the family and he can become more righteous in his behavior. But everything boils down to, I'm trying to get in the pants. When he goes down to Mexico to meet with this young lady who he's never met with in person, who he can't have a conversation with because she only speaks Portuguese and he only speaks English, and he's never taken an opportunity, even though he was messing with a woman from Brazil who only speaks Portuguese, he never took the opportunity to even learn one sentence or phrase in Portuguese. So he speaks absolutely zero Portuguese. But he's in love with these women and he wants to bring them into the family and share his life with them. And basically, because he engages with them and he becomes engaged to them, they become his fiance, he feels that entitles him to have the sexual respite with these women. And when you start to throw around, like, I get it, you want to get your freak on, you do your thing, boo-boo, have fun, knock yourself out. But when you start throwing around, religious concepts and saying that, with religion, is this what it means is that, this actually God coming into you and Jesus. You're not talking about Jesus, the Son of Man, and, came down and to sacrifice himself. That's not what you're talking about. What you're talking about is the genie from Aladdin. He's going to give you the things that you want. Oh, I want to have all these women, and this is my wish and my desire, and you want this guy to make your dreams come true. That's what you're looking for. You're not looking for any salvation or righteousness. You're just looking for somebody who's going to give you the excuse to have a good time and do the things that you want to do the way you want to do them. Now, Garrick, even with the response to his wife, that's his wife who was sitting on the couch. Ladies, gentlemen, Stop going along with stuff you don't agree with. Because as this guy is talking, you can see that she doesn't agree with anything that he's saying. And she thinks it's foolish. But because of their relationship, she can't call him out on it. And if you can't call your partner out on the foolishness that falls out of their mouth, then you're not a partner. You're an employee. Okay? Quit your job. Okay? Quit your job. Walk off your job. It's time to call it quits. It's time to wrap this bad boy up. This dude has no interest in anything that you're talking about because he has no concern about whether he looks foolish in front of you or not. He's just throwing you crazy stuff, hoping you lap it up. Now, there's also a point where Garrick was talking about sex education, and I've talked about like polygamists and their idea of sex education before, and I thought this was even more ridiculous than the concept that he had originally. Let's take a look.
Scientifically, we found that, when a man and a woman become one and his sperm goes in the woman, that his DNA becomes part of her. It actually goes into her brain and she becomes one with him. But yet the woman can't transfer her DNA back to the man. So it like showed the proof of how Christ is with his church. Like he transfers to us, we don't transfer to him. So for us, it's a beautiful thing when it's done right.
Stop it. Get some help.
Get some help. Stop it. Get some damn help. Look, even when he's sitting there talking, you can see his wife is like, and she's like, oh, because basically when you sleep with a woman, you instantly wipe her mind with your DNA. That's what it's there for. So you whip them. Right? They can't whip you. Men are unwhippable. This dude was totally whipped. If anybody has ever watched this show, and I don't care if you watch the show or you don't watch the show, let me share this part with you. For those who are unaware, the uninitiated. This guy had a woman who was down in Brazil. He was paying her money, trying to get her to come up here, begging her to come up here. She didn't want to come, or she was 5 seconds late, or every time she walked out the room, this dude's eyes was bloodshot red, tears ready to come falling down. He's literally cried because he was about to leave and get on a plane and leave this woman. She didn't cry. So I don't understand how he thinks that he's implanting or his DNA is basically imprinting on these women, but he's the one who is whipped on these women. These women are not whipped on him. He's whooped. Okay? So there's that part. Then there's the portion where his wife is looking at him, asking a question like, what are you talking about? Like she even takes her arm off and she tries to give him the okay. And gentlemen, if you're with your wife, your lady, and she starts hard swallowing and you've been talking for about 4 or 5 minutes, you need to start checking what you're talking about because she's not buying it either. Okay? And she's supposed to be all the way on board. If you can't sell her, then you can't sell anybody. If she don't believe it, there's no way in the world me as an audience member is going to even kind of believe anything that you're talking about. Again, this is the type of show that is simple to watch. In a way, it's kind of ridiculous in nature. A lot of the people are ridiculous in the positions that they take. Sarah Howe from Reality Squad, as well as Reality Amanda, me and Amanda and myself, we all get together on Wednesdays, 7 p.m. to talk about this particular cast of characters on this show. I hope you guys come out and join us. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks a lot for checking it out. I'm James. That's my take on reality, and I'm out.
'Cause I've been living life